European Contact Making Seminar, Youth Work versus Euroscepticism. The project was organized by Kasta Morrely Organization in Iași, Romania, and we are very pleased to have here part of the Kasta Morrely team. And firstly, we'd like to congratulate you for your involvement and for your work for achieving the project results. And I'd like to ask you, how do you feel about this project being at the host organization? How do you feel that your involvement was developed within the project?
I was more involved than usual in other projects. At this one, I had the honor to be the photographer, to make photos, and per total, I liked it.
Also, I had the opportunity to bring some support for the other participants to know better the city, this place, some words to understand our culture, our city, our history, and so on. It was a pleasure for me to be host in the same time as a participant.
So I have a lot of responsibilities. When I was in the city, I tried to help every person to show what is this, how we can come back here, and to protect him from other bad person. So that is it.
I think it's the same for me, like for everyone. The fact that besides being a participant, I was also able to help in the organization of the project, like the process of learning for the other participant to fit in, to understand more about the country, the culture, and it was really a pleasure for me to be able to do even more than it was like expected in the brochure.
It was a great pleasure also for me to be part of the Kasta Morrely team, which was the hosting team of this project, because I love very much Iași. I was born in Iași. I know that Iași is an open-air museum. I know each corner of Iași, many monuments, many history, a lot to say. And also it was a great pleasure to organize a very special intercultural evening where we enjoyed dancing, singing, but also presenting a lot of traditions and what means Iași, also for Romania, but also at international level. And I enjoyed presenting and helping the participants also with other logistical support or administrative, being part of this team for sure. It was also part of what we did here. We did the best to be as hospitalier as possible and to make all the participants from the other countries to feel good and to have the feeling like they are home, but in another home, in another country, because we have different traditions than the other 9 countries that were represented here at the project.
And being in the last day of the seminar activities, how do you appreciate the evolution of the activities and how did the sessions were complementing each other?
First of all, for many of us, the concept was very new. We don't know before a lot of information or at all information about Euroscepticism, and now I'm sure that we are more richer from this point of view.
So for me, when I came here, it was a very, very big surprise, because I didn't know what means Euroscepticism. So I learned a lot of information about Euroscepticism, and yes.
I think that I'm the exception here because I was familiar with the subject even before, because it's something that was approached in my university. So it's something that I was already interested in, and I had some prior knowledge about it. But I really loved it that the knowledge I had before and what I acquired here was also put in practice. Like I studied the theoretical part, especially from Brexit to now, even if I know Euroscepticism is not only Brexit. But it was studied in my university in that framework. But now here we applied it on a bigger scale and also learn how to combat it. There we only learn the causes, how it manifests, but never how to fight against it. So I think this was my favorite part in this project.
What I liked also is the fact that all the participants, they knew about the European values, of the European principles, And together we thought that many young people don't know about the opportunities that the European Union is offering or what is doing for its citizens, especially among the young generation. So this is the first way to fight against Euroscepticism, through information, because during this seminar we approach also the topic of misinformation or disinformation, so to see which are the roots, because when you know the roots, also each representative from each country presenting during the seminar the situation from its own country, how the young people are getting involved, how the youth organizations are taking attitude, and also how it is perceived the European Union. So together, until the end, we managed to create some new ideas of projects that will be put in practice and that will contribute to fight against Euroscepticism and promoting the real European values of the European Union.
And as it was already said, when I came here first time, I didn't know what Euroscepticism is, but being in this project, it helped me a lot to identify it and most important, to take some attitude against it.
And what do you think about the way that it was chosen and followed within the project to fight against Euroscepticism, about the tools that were created and the methodology that was used for achieving these tools?
From my point of view,
Please.
the theoretic part and the practical part was very good implemented in this topic, because theoretic we learn a lot of information every time for internet, from books, but to put in practice is not so easy in our days. And thanks of this project and thanks of this implementation, we put to improve our methods to practice and thinking in the other way how the things are working.
So I think that this method which were used here to understand how we can not to understand what is Euroscepticism, it's very good, and yes.
Thank you.
For me personally, I really love the practical aspect that was used, the fact that we were split in international teams and each team had one different area of approaching the issue. Like I worked on the poster and the visual aspects, maybe more focused on youth because I also did memes. But some people focused on the radio that has maybe a wider audience from all age groups, written press, which again maybe it's more common, especially if it's in paper format, for all the generation that are also vulnerable to this form of disinformation, as well as the young people if it's in mass media or online. And I like the fact that we had the video, we had the written ways of informing people, we even did visuals. So I really like this applied part as well as the theoretical part about identifying fake news and how to understand the issues or maybe the intentions behind each new information that appears in the media sphere.
I appreciated very much the teamwork that was among the participants, because all of them, they are youth workers which are connected to the youth. How the youth are perceiving the information, how can be in the best way transmitted a message to them. And everybody brought the contribution as the tools that we created and that were mentioned by my colleague. We had audio tool, we had video tool, we had a press release, and we had also some posters, all of them to fit in the way how the young generation is the best for them to receive the information, to understand it, and to be proper transmitted on the way how it's more achievable and more friendly for them. Because the young generation needs something that is more simple, more concrete, and more direct. And this, it was transmitted through the materials that were created, and that will be used for all of us in the future to be promoted within our organization, but also in future other activities where we want to transmit messages related to the importance of the European Union, of its principles, of its values.
I think it was a perfect mix between theoretical part and the practical part, because we had some, not courses, but we first learned how to do it, different methods and how to do them, and after that we put them in practice.
And speaking about the methods, the results, and all the content that have been produced here, what are the moments that highlighted you the most from the project?
For me, I was impressed that we had resource persons within this contact making seminar that had very different abilities. There were some of them which were more technically, many of them also that knew how to write the Erasmus Plus projects, and they shared with the others. It highlighted me the fact that everybody wanted to share, everybody wanted to contribute, and like this we really achieved very good results. Even in some activities, the results that were proposed to the project were overpassed because each participant was very serious, very contributed, and we managed at the end to have more tools than we decided from the beginning, because there were many ideas and it would have been a pity to not be put it in practice and to see them as a result that we can enjoy on long term after this project.
My highlight here was the method that was when we had to write our own project in team, and it was a highlight because firstly my team didn't took that very serious. It's easy, but after that when we received the reviews, we find out that we have to change 70% of our project in 30 minutes, and the fact that we were able to do it was a highlight.
Yes.
For me, the highlight was in the moment that I saw on the flip chart all the steps that we have to respect for writing a project. Maybe a small part of this information I knew before, but now it's more clearly for me because I saw step by step what we have to do.
So for me, the most highlight point was when Javi present how to implement a project, how to do, what task we need to do, and I didn't know it before, so I know it and I can put in practice.
I think for me also it was the teamwork, working international teams both for promoting the fight against Euroscepticism, also how to write an Erasmus Plus project, because even if we were all diverse and all were strong personalities that we were full of ideas, we should do this, we managed to reach a consensus and do a project and based on ideas that we were really proud of. Like we actually managed to reach a solution even if we all had really different ideas at first, and the fact that we managed to work together relatively easily was really something that impressed me, because it's not always that easy to work and achieve a result in a really tight schedule in a team that is really, really diverse and everyone wants their ideas.
Thank you. And as a last question, considering that this is a contact-making seminar and that Kasta Morrely is an organization that is active at European level in implementation of European projects, how do you feel that the organizational capacity of Kasta Morrely have been developed through this project?
I think it was developed in the sense of all the associations that were represented here by a lot of wonderful young people. The fact that we could also meet them personally and open their horizon, and maybe in a couple of years we will have them as partners, not only the association that sent them now. So I think we brought in a lot of horizons. And beside this networking part and helping young people understand the benefits of getting involved, understanding why they should get involved, the issues that they're faced, it was this part of connecting basically each other and also growing. Even us as volunteers, I think all of us felt like they grow a little bit So we will also help in the organization now that we have a broader horizon.
Especially it was developed by the point of view of the partnership, because already Kasta Morrely established future cooperations. There is in plan also a key action 2, so starting from this key action 1 to go even much to the next level and to implement with partners that are present here, or partners that can be recommended also by from other networks which are interested on this topic of Euroscepticism and fighting against it to youth work. So we are sure about this, that what it was concretized here, what it was discussed, for sure it will be put in practice by Kasta Morrely Association and its whole team. And also it is a great gain the fact that youth workers from Kasta Morrely that were present here, they developed their skills, they are better youth workers, they know better how to work in an international framework, they are more connected to the realities from the countries that were represented here, they have more knowledge about European values and what is happening at international level, and also they gain knowledge and practical exercise on how to write an application form. So we are looking forward that as many of them to have initiatives either at local, either at international level in creating future projects.
As I said before, we will leave this place more richer.
So I felt that I grow during this project, and during I am volunteering in Kasta Morrely.
I think everyone, as it was said before, I think everyone grew up even a little bit.
Thank you very much, and congratulations for your work, congratulations for your involvement and for contribution as a host organization as well, for contributing to the good development of the project or accomplishing the project objectives. And we wish to continue as well and to see you also in initiating and developing future Erasmus Plus projects. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.